Yodi. What's good, YouTube? I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. So, a lot of you guys have been asking for an updated settings video. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. After a long-awaited time, I finally made one. These are the most optimal settings, in my opinion. Okay? So, you guys could have your own preferences, which is totally okay. But in my opinion, this is what I personally think is the best. It comes down to the controller settings, the best possible aim assist, best possible, most consistent sensitivity. Comes down to the graphics settings so you don't miss any characters across the map or have any FPS issues or any render issues, and any type of game settings for your movement and like auto mantling, etc., stuff like that, which makes you move as fluid as possible with no stutters and no issues. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys have anything I'd like to try, I'd love to get your input on things. Put it in the comment down below, and I'll give it a try on my next stream. All right, so a lot of you guys have been asking for a controller setting, an updated controller setting video. Here it is, my mans. The button layout stays on default because of the controller layout that I have. And what I mean by that is I use a Battle Beaver with two back buttons. My left rear button is my jump button, and my right rear button is my slide button. Stick layout preset stays the same. I personally like 1.7 sensitivity. And I think this is closer to an 8.8. What I've noticed most professionals, who I think is the best professionals, they use a sensitivity from in between 1.5 to 1.8. Find your preference. There's no best sensitivity. There's literally just whatever you prefer and what makes you play better. 1.7 is what I personally like. Turn off all these settings. I do not like vibration. Now for the dead zones. The left stick minimum always needs to stay on 0, and let me tell you guys why. There's something called rotational aim assist. When you have your left stick minimum movement on 0, that means the input response of the analog stick is at the fastest it could possibly be. And the reason why you want it to be the fastest possible, it's because it activates rotational aim assist the most consistently, okay? So having it on 0 makes it so you barely have to move your analog stick. Sometimes it moves on its own, but your rotational aim assist will constantly be on. You'll feel that your aim assist is better. Your left stick maximum should be on 60. Personally, this is what I like, and I'm going to explain it to you guys why. We're going to go ahead and look at the right side of the screen where you see the two circles. The left stick has a little bit of red on the outside, and I'm going to explain that to you guys, okay? So the red on the left stick is the dead zone. Now, what this means is that instead of needing to move your analog stick in full range of motion, which would be 100, I put it down to 60. So all I need to do is technically move my analog stick just a little bit to have the full range of movement. This increases my movement speed because I can hit my slide cancels faster while I'm halfway moving into my analog stick. Okay, while I'm halfway moving the analog stick up like so. Okay, halfway, it registers the full range of motion instead of just halfway movement. So this allows you to auto tack, sprint faster, get into your slides faster, etc., etc. It's very, very useful. Right stick minimum is on 4. It's all preference, by the way, depends on your controller and your stick drift. Right stick minimum should be on 4 for best response time, in my opinion. But like I said, if you have a really busted controller with stick drift, you need to put your right stick minimum up to get rid of the stick drift. And when I have a new controller, I usually play on 4 or 5. And the right stick maximum on 99. This is what feels the best to me. At the end of the day, it is all preference. So there is no best settings. This is just what I like best. I'm going to move forward to the aiming sensitivity tab. Everything is on default here. Aiming advanced settings. I like to use ADS transition timing to gradual. It's what feels the least clunkiest instead of instant. I know some people like instant. I've never seen anyone on after zoom, but some people do like instant. I like gradual. And I have the response curve slope scale on 0. I've been liking this for a while. I felt like dynamic felt very clunky, so I've been using linear. It feels a lot smoother. Target aim assist on, ADS on, of course. And I don't know exactly how the motion sensor behavior works. I think this is a placebo effect, but since I'm a meathead and I like to just do it anyways, make sure your motion sensor is off and go into the advanced settings and turn off FOV scaling. I don't think this matters because this has to do with motion sensor aiming. So I don't think it matters whether it's on or not. If this is off, I don't think any of these settings apply, but I do it anyways because I'm an idiot. So try it out. Let me know what you guys think. So we're going to go into the movement settings here. Sprint assist, I have it on tactical sprint assist. Sprint assist delay on 0. This is on, this is on. This helps with the omni movement in my opinion. It allows you to sprint sideways and backwards a lot smoother. And it helps me move around with the omni movement a lot better. Turn off mantle assist, crouch assist. I like corner slice. I know this is something that a lot of people don't like because it's a new feature. I think the slide dive behavior needs to be hybrid. I'm going to be honest with you guys. With this new movement, I don't think you should be playing on anything other than hybrid. It's the best movement setting, and I can guarantee that you will have the best movement if you can get used to hybrid because it allows you to slide and dive with no input delay. I personally like it because when I realized when I turned it off and I would be peeking around a corner, very tight corner, and I would shoot, I've noticed that a lot of the corners would have this weird barrier that I can't see, and my bullets would hit a barrier, so they would never go around the corner. It's really weird. I don't know, it might be a placebo effect, but ever since I turned on corner slice, I haven't had that issue. Automatic airborne mantle should be off, and let's say your settings are locked here, and it says automatic airborne mantle is on and it's locked. It technically is on, and you won't be able to unlock it unless you reset the tab. So as you can see on the bottom left of the screen, there's a button where you can click. It's square for me because I'm on the PS4 controller. You need to hold, reset the tab. Okay, I'm not going to do it because I don't want to redo my settings, but reset the tab. The first setting you should turn off after would be automatic airborne mantle. So reset the tab, go back to your movement settings, and then turn this off. That's the first thing you should do. And then it should never lock to on again. Sprint restore should be on. Same thing with this. I like to remove my parachute automatic behavior. I like to control my own parachute, even though I do splat a couple times. And I am the type to blame the game, even though it's my fault. And I still blame the game. All right, moving on. Movement settings. Toggle off, 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 grounded mantle. Any type of mantle where it helps you mantle over some things. I'm telling you right now, the more you play the game, if you have assisted mantle on in any type of sense, you're going to notice that you're going to be mantling over things on accident, and that's something you really, really don't want. Tactical sprint activation. It does not matter if you have tactical sprint assist on, which I showed you guys you should have it on in my opinion. And yeah, sprinting door bash on, of course. Plunging water, this is all preference. I like trigger. Vehicle advanced settings, these are all default. I have not touched any of these. On to combat. All right. Hold. Tactical stance. Usually I have it off, but I was doing my camos, so I had it on. Turn that off. I don't think it's helpful in any way. Prioritize body shield. It's usually on finishing move. I like messing around, so. These all seem like they're all defaulted. Combat settings. This is an important page. Interact, reload behavior. For Warzone, you should have it on prioritize interact. You're going to notice that the game is a lot smoother. If you're playing multiplayer, you should have it on tap to reload. So that's what I do. Whenever I play S&D chals or any type of multiplayer, when I'm grinding my camos, I switch the setting to tap to reload for multiplayer and prioritize interact for Warzone. Sprint cancels reload. Make sure it's off. And these are all defaulted. Overlay advanced settings, those don't matter. On to the graphic settings. These are very, very simple. Make sure your screen refresh rate is on auto, so it automatically chooses the refresh rate of your monitor. As long as in your Windows settings, you have the right refresh rate selected, your game should automatically read it and give you the right refresh rate. Whatever resolution you guys prefer, I pick the default one for my monitor. And this is all preference here. I use 2.4. I use NVIDIA Reflex low latency with boost. VSync should be off. These are all for gameplay. It should be off. Menus, it does not matter. I have my frame rate on unlimited because I do get a lot of frames. But let's say you have a 120 hertz monitor and you don't get anything over 140 frames, you should cap your frames to 120, and you'll notice you won't get as much screen tearing, and it'll probably feel more responsive for the people that don't have a super PC. So this could be something that could help you. So you would basically do custom, and you would select 120 right here, okay? If you have a 120 hertz monitor. All of these don't really matter. I'm going to be honest. It could be set to anything. I like high dynamic range off. I think the game looks better with it off. If you have a good HDR monitor or a TV, this could be beneficial to you. I have never dabbled with HDR because I've never been a fan of the response time that it has. I feel like every time I turn this on, I have a lag to my controller. I might be tripping, but that's just how I feel. On to the quality settings. Resolution. Render resolution should be on 100. You could put this down if you feel like you're not getting a lot of frames. Just don't put it down too much. Like put it down to 90 or 85 or something like that. Your game will still look somewhat good, just not as good as 100 obviously, but you'll get a little more frames for sure. Fidelity cast should be on, and I put mine on 90. My game still looks unbelievably amazing, and it saves some frames as well. Every time I have NVIDIA DLSS frame generation on, I feel a massive, massive delay. So I turn both of these off, and VRAM scale target on 50. I don't know if this is a specific setting per computer, but for my computer, I think this feels the best for me. Everything should be on low or off, by the way. Literally not a single setting should be on high. Everything should be on off or low. The lowest possible except for your water quality. I have my water quality on water caustics because it helps me see better whenever I'm in the water or when I'm outside the water so I could track people better. We move on to view. 120 FOV is what I love. It feels the best for Warzone. When I play multiplayer, I play on 113 or 110. No, that's a lie. Sorry. I play on 105 or 100. 113 or 110 was the last game. This game, I play on 105 or 100. Okay, it just depends on how I'm feeling. Usually it's 105. ADS field of view affected. I think independent messes my aim up too much. It feels like if you don't have perfect centering all the time, it could mess you up. It also messes up my field of view whenever I'm fighting someone. So let's say I'm ADSing someone and I'm fighting them, and like on the far right, someone comes into my screen. I'll still be able to see him because affected allows you to like not have such a zoomed in camera whenever you ADS. So this is personally, I think it's the most ideal setting. I know some people play on independent, very few, but affected is, in my opinion, is the best one. I have my weapon field of view on wide so I could see more on my screen. If you have it on narrow or default, your weapon looks bigger and it takes up more of your screen. So wide works the best for me. Third person field of view, I don't know why it's on 90. I like it on 70. I thought it was on 70 before, but it's not. The closer your third person field of view is, the lower it is. The more you could see when you go into 3P in Warzone. And I do that a lot when I'm flying, like coming back from Gulag, so I can clear like the outskirts and stuff, okay? So like, let's say I'm trying to clear a buy for my teammates. I go into third person field of view and I look at the buy station and I make sure that nobody's on it or around the buy station. And this helps whenever your field of view is a lot smaller because you get to see more. You're more zoomed in. I have this on wide. I don't think it matters. I think it makes the vehicle look further so you have more room to look around you. I think that's what I have it on. World motion blur should be off. Weapon motion blur should be off. It's all preference, but I'm telling you right now from experience, you should get used to having it off because you're going to get messed up a lot by trying to look around your area. Like whenever you start moving your analog stick left to right or your mouse left to right, if you have that motion blur, you're not going to be able to track properly. So getting used to it being off is definitely more beneficial. First person camera should be on least. Now what this does basically is whenever there's explosives or explosions or kill streaks or anything around you, when you have it on the least type of movement, those big explosions that make your screen shake a lot, it's going to be a lot less. I don't think it makes that big of a difference, but whatever helps, you know? So that's how I like to look at it. So I think this helps a lot. You should definitely do it. Unless you like seeing your screen absolutely just go berserk when you get kill streaked. I'm just not a fan of that. Everything else here is off. Inverted flashbang. I personally like seeing the white whenever I get flashed because When I tried putting it on, and I literally thought my monitor disconnected, and I literally stopped playing. I was tweaking. I thought my monitor broke or something. So I could not get used to inverted flashbang on, so I just stick with it being off. That's just the preference I like to go with. Audio settings. I'm going to be honest with you guys. There isn't much you could really do with audio. The game is just very poorly optimized when it comes to audio, unfortunately. And they have been making some W updates where the audio definitely becomes better. There's been, I think, 4 updates so far. They messed up 2 of them, but the other 2 are really good. And I think the most recent one is decent. Not the best audio update they did, but it's not bad. Gameplay music, I don't like hearing any of it. Dialogue volume, I put it to 70 so I could hear the people talking in game. Like, for example, when there's an enemy airstrike, or, you know, if someone's throwing sky nades, like let's say they're on the bottom of my building and I'm all the way on height. I don't know if you guys have watched me play frequently, but I like to run frag grenades, and I like to sit right outside of someone's building if I'm on the bottom. Throw nades all the way. I look all the way up and I throw nades. They're called sky nades. So if you're the one receiving sky nades, not the one throwing them, if you're receiving them, sometimes the game cues that someone's throwing nades at you. And it's important to be able to hear stuff like that, because if you don't see the grenade flying right in front of your face, and like, let's say they're coming behind you, you could hear enemy grenades, you know, and then at that point, you know you're getting sky naded. And then you just go in the building and dodge them. It's a pretty helpful thing. Effect volumes need to be on 100 in my opinion. And I don't mess with any of the music stuff, so I just turn all of it off. As for the speakers, headphones, game, sound device, you could choose your default system device or whatever you like to use. I would look into the Art Tune. That's what I use. If you guys don't know what the Art Tune is, just go on YouTube and write Art is War. He has his own audio tune that I think is very helpful for the audio in the game. Try that out. I have the 7.1 surround sound. I have bought the enhanced headphones. It is absolutely just useless for me. I've heard some people, it's helped them. I don't know how true that is, but from experience, I've turned off the Art Tune. I've ran complete default settings, and I've tried enhanced headphone mode. It sounded horrible. Sorry, Call of Duty, it's just the truth. I'm never going to lie. So, I don't recommend. Do as you please. If you know how to work it properly, I'd love to know how, but from what I understand, it's not good. I wish I didn't buy it. Audio mix, I like Treyarch mix at the moment. Before the most recent update, I was using home theater, and I've noticed that home theater reduces a lot of the volume that is unnecessary. Like the ambiance of the map, it's the best way I could say it. There's a lot of outer noise, like leaves rustling, the wind and stuff. Home theater made it a lot lower. Kill streaks as well, they sound a lot quieter with home theater. But I personally like Treyarch mix at the moment from the last audio update. It feels like it has the most consistency when it comes to footsteps. Asymmetrical compensation. I know a lot of people like it. I tried it. I'm not a fan. If you guys think this is beneficial, or if you have some good settings with it, let me know. I'm down to try it out. Personally, I couldn't figure it out. I didn't like the asymmetrical hearing. Reduced tinnitus sound. Correct me if I'm wrong. Make sure that's on. Hit marker preset on none.
A few moments later.
Tinnitus? Tinnitus. Thank you, chat. Thank you, chat. If you guys don't mind, man, I'd really, really appreciate it. Drop a subscription on the YouTube channel. A like would be very appreciated as well. You guys could go the extra mile and also follow my Twitter account. That would be absolutely amazing. And even a further extra mile, my Twitch account, and even further, my Kick account, and even further, my Instagram account. Following my social platforms helps me out in a way that you guys don't understand. It's so, so important. So please,